one of those classic Disney rides that for me just quintessentially Disney. They first launched it in the 1964 New York World's Fair. It was sponsored by Pepsi, and they only had 11 months to design and build the ride because Pepsi took so long to decide on what they wanted to do with it, I think. The ride then transferred to Disneyland in 1966 after the World's Fair closed, and it opened here as an opening day attraction in 1971. It's the only version of Small World in Walt Disney World that actually has an indoor queue line because of the bad weather here in Florida. So all of the other versions of It's a Small World all have outdoor queues, but they built the same facade indoors that they have on the other versions of It's a Small World. The ride was originally supposed to have the dolls from each country singing their own national anthems, but it just became a bit too messy and too complicated to merge them all together to make it seamless. So the Sherman Brothers wrote the song It's a Small World specifically for the ride to make it flow better through. The idea of the ride is that you're on a boat ride, you're going through all the different countries, and then at the end you come into the one room at the end where all the children from all nations are all together. They're all wearing white, all peaceful together, all unified and in one world, because it is a small world after all. So that was Small World at Walt Disney World, but what about the other Small World attractions? There are 5 different Small World rides. The only park that doesn't have one is Shanghai, and of course the ride initially debuted at the 1964 World's Fair. I wasn't alive in 1964 and neither was this camera, so obviously I don't have footage of that, but I have ridden some of the other Small World attractions, so I am going to insert clips of those just so that you can look at the differences between those. So the first is the one in California. This is fairly similar to the one in Walt Disney World, although it completely freaked me out to start with, because whereas in Small World it looks like the boats are travelling through the water and the dolls are on islands within the water, the Disneyland version, the boats travel through a channel of water and the islands with puppets are more like stages on a floor. So that freaked me out slightly, because I just assumed that it would be like a water ride like Pirates or Small World in Florida. That was fascinating to me, that the boats just float in this little river really, rather than a lake like in Florida. So I think I've got a couple of clips of that, or at least some photographs, so you can see the difference. And the other difference is that there are Disney characters in amongst the dolls as well, themed in their lands. So keep an eye out for those. So for example, in like the Polynesian islands, you'll find Lilo and Stitch. In England, you'll see Alice in Wonderland and things like that. So have a look out for those differences. I don't think it adds or detracts. Really, it's a nice little thing to look out for. So yeah, this is Disneyland in California. Oh, the other difference with this is the line is entirely outside, which is hot in the sun, but it does move quite quickly, and it does have a two-pronged line, I think, and it has fast pass as well. So yeah, that's the differences between Florida and California.
Oh, you need your ID?
Not working. Where is this one?
Here's mine.
So you can stand with all these people. Or you can stand with these people.
Gracias. Welcome to It's a Small World. For your safety, please remain seated throughout your voyage, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat.
So next we have Disneyland Paris. Now this is a different line because most of it's covered. 50% of it's covered. It's got a similar front, but a slight variation on a theme really. It's bigger outside, you load outside, and then the boats go into the building. The one thing I found about the Paris one is, whereas the one in Florida is long and quite spread out, the one in Paris is tall and compact. So a lot of people say they don't like the one in Florida because it's quite boring, but that I think is because it's longer and stuff is more spaced out, whereas in Paris it's much more compact. I don't know if the ride time is shorter, I think it is, but it's the same concept. It's pretty much identical to the one in Florida, I would say, apart from the fact that 50% of the songs are in French. Must do ride, and yeah, check out Small World in Disneyland Paris.
Whoop whoop.
I'm always scared about like big crowds because people just flop.
Wait. Disneyland Paris, so let's now look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong Disneyland, the front of the attraction is much similar to Disneyland than Disneyland Paris or Walt Disney World, and the entire line, from what I remember, is indoors, and the loading area is beautiful. It's really, really pretty. I remember walking into it the first time through the line and just going, wow, it's really, really pretty. So the loading area is very, very nice. Oh, also the outside, the exterior of the attraction at night time lights up like the one in California does. It's really, really beautiful. But yeah, the attraction is more clearly divided into continents, and there are actually signs on the wall that tell you that you're going into Europe or you're going into Asia. There's also a really nice Hong Kong section, which I loved. So yeah, that's pretty much the main differences for the Hong Kong one. So I'm going to put in the footage of that now so you can have a look at how that goes. Sun's starting to go down as well. This is such a pretty queue. Oh, the aircon is good in here. It says please use both sides, but should we go down here? Hello, weird. Oh, there we go.
Throughout your voyage, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat, and please watch your children. Thank you. 为了您的安全，请您在整个的胳膊和手脚放在船里面，并请照顾好您的小孩。
That's 4 out of the 5 small worlds. Now, you might have that song in your head for a little while. There is also the Christmas overlays. I've never seen the Christmas overlay in California, but I have seen the one in Disneyland Paris. I will put in a very brief snippet of that just to give you an idea, just for completeness sake. But yeah, if I put too much footage, more footage in, you might go a little bit mad. So here's Christmas Small World overlay. That's probably enough of small singing children for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it interesting, the similarities and the differences. And as we continue on, we will look at some more attractions and look at the different parks that they're in as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you soon in another video.